All right, guys, we've been working diligently on this thing. I haven't filmed much. It's October now. We're running out of time out here. I still like to make it to the track with this thing. Obviously, not going to get too much ice cream, but still like to do some burnouts. So I'm just kind of plugging away. I'll show you a little bit of what I got. It's just some basic stuff, a little bit of the fuel system, the clutch system, and come back and see what's happening. All right, I'm a bit of a mess. I'm jumping all over the place at this point. So right now we're just taking out the stock clutch cable, and we're going to get this ready for our McLeod hydraulic setup, which is coming out of the other car. All right, welcome to my workbench here. Yes, beautiful. This is what we do in New England here. This is a McLeod hydraulic clutch setup. If anyone's familiar with the Mustangs, they know they come obviously with a cable drive. This setup, I believe it is from 79 to 04, from the start of the Fox bodies. Why Ford decided to wait until 2005 to come up with a hydraulic setup, I will never know, considering they used hydraulics on other. I had a 95 Ranger that had a hydraulic clutch. I'm not sure why they waited this long in the Mustangs. I don't know. These are great cars to do swaps, anybody knows, but if you switch to a manual transmission, you want hydraulic setup, it's a real pain in the ass to do this yourself. So I bought this. It was kind of expensive. I think it was about $400 when I bought it. I don't even know how much they are now. I think I did actually get it on sale, but I bought it a couple of years ago. It is called the Firewall setup. I think the only difference is it basically doesn't come with the hydraulic throw-out bearing that would normally go inside. Replace the stock one, obviously. This setup worked great. This is already all connected to a slave right from, this is just the Nissan 300ZX. I did some crazy adapting because this line comes with this setup, and I believe it's a 3AN maybe. I did this 3AN conversion. It's wicked dirty, I'm sorry. 3AN conversion to, I forget how I even did this. I did it a while ago. I think it's like a 3AN to something else to the stock setup. Works great, never leaked, never anything. So we're gonna throw this into this car. Oh, hold on, I got one other thing to show you. And this is part of the firewall side of the thing. This wild guy right here. I actually already installed this section. I didn't get too much farther into it. This just goes in to the stock location, shares 2 bolt holes, and then they want you to drill these other 2. I don't know, not really sure why. Maybe for, yeah, whatever. This guy goes inside, and this is, you back this out, and it's what creates tension on your cable, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if I showed this, but it's still a cable setup. They call this a pull style. Very interesting. So you don't actually have to modify anything, really. You just have this, add this to the back of the pedal, and you're good to go. It creates a little pivot point and grabs the cable right there. You're good to go. Let me slam this thing in, and I mean, this thing will actually have a clutch now, and I can move on to doing the other things that I've fallen behind with. And just like that, it's in. This is just temporarily in. I haven't decided where I'm going to mount this. This mounted against my inner fender, inner shock tower here on the other setup, but this one is I don't know. It's got all these weird brackets for the Hydro Boost setup, which I don't have. I don't know if this is a 96, 98 type of thing, but that's it. We'll move on from here. We'll tackle something else. Okay, excuse the mess. We have, it's fuel time. We got some line fittings. This is my old pump out of the new Edge. I think I'm pretty sure that this is quite a bit different. I thought the hat was the same, but I don't even know. Looking at the lines, they come from another direction and everything, but Here's the basket. I don't know if any of this can even be used. We're gonna have to look at the other one. It's my old regulator. That's a 6AN, and we're going to 8AN on the new car, just for whatever reason. Just why not now? You know, I don't really know what the future of this car is gonna be, but it should be something. So let's see. What else do I got? We have some half-inch hardline. Some fittings to 8AN. I like to run the solid line under the car. I know a lot of people have run soft line all the way. I thought once I read that you weren't actually supposed to do that for the track. Who knows? What do I know? I'd rather have this. Let's see. Yeah, it's starting to look like a motor again. All right. Yeah, this is quite a bit different. This is what we've got here. I cut this bad boy open. This, I actually need to look at the back of the trunks, because I think even the trunk might be different with the way the wheel sits. Maybe not, not sure. This pump's on the side, over near the filler. The new edges are like in and around here-ish, somewhere. Maybe down here, not sure. But they're in the front, toward the front side of the tank. And they come straight out. This thing does like this crazy loop around. Let's see, you can see the ground from here, so it kind of comes around and does one of these. So I gotta see what this basket looks like. I don't even know. It looks weird. This is bizarre. I don't know how any of this works. We're gonna have to find this out. So we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. Okay, we have this thing apart. This is significantly different than the other one, to say the least. I did not know that. And if you look this up online, I just looked up random fuel replacement. They lumped the 94 to 04s all into the same category, and I know for a fact that is not right. Now, unless this tank has a provision for both, which I don't know, yeah, I don't really see why this would need to be like this. But I've also seen that this the float for the must be in the other maybe it's in the other location. I'm not really sure. This is all new to me. I'm not a big SN95 guy. I do like the new edges. I know quite a bit about them, but this is a little bit of a learning curve for me, because this is a 96. And even, I don't know, I thought I even saw 98 didn't have this. I don't know. Well, anyways, we're gonna modify this. We're gonna jam our 450 in here, and we're gonna make this happen. So stay tuned. Okay, this is what we have come up with for our fuel pump. I've also decided that out of all the stuff I do on a car, to a car, I despise fuel systems for some reason. I think they suck. I'll weld exhaust all day long, but this stuff is just... So here's my 450 pump. I have a 8AN adapter, goes in, whatever. I had to trim up the stock. As you can see, I cut that down, trim this up a little bit, shot a hole, clamps, blah, 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 whatever. It's wired. We're gonna use the stock wiring. I used it in the other car. I had no problems. It didn't get hot. Nothing got hot. We're gonna try it again. It's pretty decent gauged wire, so we'll see what happens. I don't know how these old Mustangs do, but we're gonna give it a whirl, and let's see if this thing even fits back in. I had a hose clamp on here originally, and that did not fit, because this diameter is the exact diameter of the hole. What a pain in the ass. So this clamp wouldn't go past, so just used a little mechanics wire and wrapped it. Whatever, it is what it is. It's in. Let's give it a whirl and see if it fits. All right, we got it back in. I put a couple fittings on just to make sure everything was gonna fit, because it's really low here. I don't know if you can see. I actually had to notch out the you probably can't really see it from there because it's kind of dark in here, but I had to notch out the lock ring to clear this because it's really low. Then I actually had to cut away some of the goop, whatever this insulating stuff is, foam, and she fits. I have no idea if anything's gonna work. This will be an interesting try, but we'll go from there, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll call this the I'll call this the fuel conclusion video. Fuel lines in, pump in, everything's in, -6, -8. I got the hard lines run in the car, got a regulator up front. I have been having I didn't finish this earlier because this has probably been like 2 weeks going on. I've been trying to power this with the stock car, stock Ford Mustang stuff, and key on. So this car is similar to a GM. It's similar to a GM in the fact that it let me take that back. This car is not like a GM at all. It has a negative trigger instead of a positive one for the fuel pump. This car also has that constant control relay module. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that or if someone else has or whatever. It's like a big giant relay box up front. They're known to go bad. So I was just using that to trigger it. It would trigger at 12 volts, then it would drop to 6 volts. So after a long time and checking things and looking everything over and thinking I crossed something somewhere, I unhooked all that. I even used the Ford stuff. I mean, I used the Chevy trigger. I mean, yeah, the Chevy trigger and everything, 12 volts, whatever, ran a new relay. Something was going on. It was still backfeeding in 6 volts to this thing somewhere. I looked and looked and looked. I finally found something over near the PCM, the stock PCM on this car, that I'm not sure if the computer controls something on a lower voltage on this year. I don't know why this year would be like that. This car has no fuel pump driver module. It has no, I don't really know. I'm not really sure. It doesn't have a returnless system that the computer varies the thing. I don't know why it was like that. So I finally found that one wire, I clipped it, and everything seems to be fine now. And then my battery died. Let's go look at the battery. Yep, so here we are. We have a Right Top Optima. It is 1 year old. It was in the other car, which I did drive, not as often as maybe I should have, but this thing is toast. It's bubbling and sizzling when you put put power to it. It's getting really hot. So as soon as the battery's done, we're gonna finish off the fuel system, and once the fuel system is finished, I'll get to the other stuff and we'll go from there.